Hey Elizabeth. So we got chapter one here. I tried doing this morning for you. I was gonna have it in, but I like last night, like early evening, like 5 o'clock. I had a Starbucks like coffee energy drink, and I never have those, and it messed up my sleep so bad, like more than I thought. Sorry, it's gonna be kind of loud here. I'm at my mother's house, and I've got little London playing with stuff, and some boys in the other room, and I've got food boiling behind me. So sorry if you can hear that, but. Yeah, I tried to do this morning and I was like not connecting points properly and stumbling over my words. So I am a little bit better now, a little more rested. So let's get into it. So great word, sun dappled. Love that. Haven't seen that in a long time. Have a maybe sort of contradiction here, maybe not. Yeah, so you say a sun dappled glade and then you refer to it as a field that stretches endlessly before her. So I often think, and I think a lot of people think of a glade as like not a small. I mean, a glade can be small, but it's like an enclosure within a forest. Maybe has some trees popping into it. So this, you see, it says stretches before her. This kind of ties into something else you had here. Where sorry about the sound again. Where I think after she finds Melody. She talks about, I'm just looking for it again. Let's see. Hello there. So she's already found her there. Sorry, this is taking a while. Okay, well, I'll come back to it as I read through this. So there's another part where it seems like she's stepping into another glade. And so I just want to advise you to be really careful with your geography. It's a pretty common and easy thing to mess up, and I'd actually maybe recommend like sitting down and making a sort of like Tolkien or Lord of the Rings-esque map for your fantasy world, which can really help your writing later on. And you know what? If you don't do this, all your readers will inevitably make one in their head anyway. So, oh, sorry. I've got a. What are you doing? What are you doing? You want peanut butter. Okay. Just a sec. Should I stop the video so Elizabeth can focus on her editing? Or do you need peanut butter? Okay, here, we'll pause the video. Okay, Boo Bear has her peanut butter. Yeah, so watch the geography and yeah, so a field stretch endlessly before her. I mean, this could still be a glade if it was like there were trees on the sides, but the field kind of stretched endlessly before, like a really wide open long glade, I guess. So that's up to you. But you will want to really watch the geography as you get to the part where she meets Melody, and it seems like she's stepping into another glade. I'll get to that when I see it. I just don't remember it quite at the moment. So Dusty, her father, a proud stallion with a coat that gleamed in the sunlight. I'd say that this description is redundant at this point. It's just not necessary. You've already introduced the character. That almost feels like a new introduction. I would just get rid of that. Yeah, it's just like not relevant for this paragraph. This line here, he taught her the rhythm of the wild and the dance of the seasons. I think that's the best line in this whole work. I love that line. So Cinder, her gentle mother, had nurtured her spirit with kindness and warmth. So this line here, Flame, her brother, a kind but protective stallion with the spirit of a lion. I think what needs to change about this line is that it's out of place in this paragraph because it doesn't explain his traits and how they relate to her, like how you, which is what you did for every other character here. So I would add something about maybe how he's protective of her or something like that. Then here we have Anne Spark. So Anne, beginning a sentence with Anne. It's a funny thing because, so you did it here. And here I think you could just get rid of it for not for legal reasons, but just because it works with the sentence. You can just start with deep within the chaos. So growing up in the public school system here, I was always told never start a sentence with and but. And then, you know, you get to become an adult and I find like pro writers doing it all the time. I'm not sure if it really matters, but I don't know. I like to try to avoid it. Here, it could easily be avoided if you wanted to. You could start with just start with like, then there was Spark or something like that. Or you could be, yeah, then her baby sister Spark or something like that. And I think the rest of that was fine. What do we have here? Maybe expand prologue scene where they're separated. Right. Okay. So she hears whispers about Flame maybe still being alive. To give this some punch, I would really expand on that in your prologue, like how they're separated in the chaos of battle, and she doesn't know if he might be dead or not, and that she fled from the battle to this place. I'd make that really clear. That just like, oh, my brother might be alive, and we were separated as everyone was fighting. And that maybe there was like a crushing defeat in that battle and that she had to flee, and that's how she got to this place. You could tie all those things together right there. This last line, I like this a lot. I think I'd like you to add to it. Like, so she had to come here to escape, but the memory of her family weighed heavily on her, entwining with the beauty of her surroundings and leaving her feeling like a ghost. I would love this line even more if you could even change ghost, but really kind of hammer on the fact that there's this sort of like juxtaposition here, or this contradiction that, she's in this incredibly beautiful place, but she feels like just like terrible. And so there's kind of a contradiction as to how she feels. She feels terrible. She feels ugly inside. Sorry, I had to pause there. Kids started shooting something and it was pretty loud. So there's the contradiction, juxtaposition, whatever you want to say, that, she's feeling terrible and, she has all this anguish in her, but she's in this crazy, beautiful place. So for your simile here, I'd love, like, I don't know, something like a ghost in a beautiful house, or that's kind of crappy, but, something like that, like almost like the opposite of a canary in a coal mine, right? Oh, sorry, I'm being bugged by kids again. This was maybe a bad time for me to do this, but you're going to have to bear with me. There we go. Lots of cards for you to play with. Canary in a coal mine, beautiful thing in an ugly place. You've got kind of someone who's feeling pretty ugly inside in a beautiful place. So I don't know, if you can think of some awesome simile that goes there, I think that would make that line even better. So next one, this is all pretty good. Second paragraph, we used amidst again. Amidst and amid are interchangeable. But it's being used a bit too much. I would switch that to just even like in the midst of the vibrant flora or something like that. Anything to shake that up. Down here, warmth. Warm and warmth are being used a lot in this work. I would definitely try to just swap it up for any other adjective. Anything you can think of to maybe give a bit more variance there. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words a little bit. Let's see, down here. So this is what I was talking about before. Curiosity nudged at her, and she began to move, following the sound that danced through the air like a playful breeze, as she ventured into a sunlit clearing. So this is some other clearing. She was already in a clearing, but it seems like she's back in some wooded area. I'd make that really clear to the reader, because before we were in this huge open field, right? And then suddenly we're not, and then we're coming into another clearing. So you really want to make that very clear for your reader. Then this. So shimmered like sunshine, filtering through trees. This kind of poetic device, filtering through the trees, light coming through the leaves, it's been used quite a few times at this point. I would try to swap that up for something else and try to use it a bit more sparingly. Then over here, this page, this was all pretty good. I really like the interactions with Willow. I really like Willow's character. She's just sort of like, I don't know, really like maybe lackadaisical. Maybe that's kind of a mean way of saying it. I don't know, but I don't know. I like how just kind of happy and carefree she is. She feels really distinguished from Almond, so I like that a lot. So again, warmth being used a lot. There's warmth again. Let's try to swap that up maybe. Bottom here. So this really caught me off guard. Almond listened, entranced by Willow's positivity. You draw, don't you? So where did that come from? We need some pretext or some incentive for her to say that. That's like really out of the blue. As the reader, I can't imagine like why she would say that, considering the conversation they've just had. And then she asked, recalling the vibrant sketches Willow shared with others in the fields. Where did that come from? Because that was not, there was no pretext to that, right? So that just came out of nowhere from the reader's perspective. You're going to want to insert that somewhere into the text where she's seeing these sketches and then shared with others in the field. So yeah, I'm not sure about that line, or if like maybe you had an idea and then it didn't make it in, and you tack that on. So you'll want to insert what you need to make this whole thing make sense. And then I think this was all good. So again, warming. There's another amidst. That could be switched for among. This line here, Almond felt a burgeoning friendship start to blossom. I think this would feel a bit more smooth if you did something like Almond felt a burgeoning friendship begin to blossom. So I want to warn you about alliteration. Alliteration can sound really corny when it's used excessively, but when it's used in a tactful way, it's very nice and smooth and pleasant to read. So burgeoning friendship begin to blossom. That sounds pretty nice to me. It's pleasant. It's not excessive in any way. And yeah, I'd recommend switching that to something like this. To read it again. Almond felt a burgeoning friendship begin to blossom. And then, yeah, that's it for chapter 1. I'm actually just kind of hanging out at my mom's house watching kids while my wife works on our business stuff. So I might actually tackle chapter 2 while I'm here. But yeah, we'll see. I got to make dinner for these kids and whatnot. So I'll see what I can get done. Okay, I'll talk to you later.